the importance of extra lessons or other alternative ways, of helping the student academically? What is the importance of that?
That is a very good question. Because most of the time, listen to this, a lot of parents think it's only low achievers that need support.
Okay.
And that 99% of parents I am Sandy Zigana. I have been teaching abroad now for the past 8 years, 10 years to be exact, but then I came back to South Africa for 2 years to go back to school. Yes, I went back to school after 10 years. Currently, I am teaching at the British International School of Suleimani, and that is in Iraq. I know.
Here we go.
But a lot of people, when you mention the name Iraq, they're like, bomb. I am.
We're glad to see you alive.
I'm laughing. I'm beautiful. So everything is good on this side of the world. I'm actually in the northern side of Iraq, in the northern EU region, which is way much safer.
Okay.
But before teaching here, I'm coming back now. It's the second round.
Okay.
Before coming here, I was in Turkey. I've taught also in South Korea.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been teaching abroad, but then I came back to Kurdistan for the second round because I felt like my job is not done here. I'm all about giving back to the community, okay?
Okay.
So I felt like my job when I was here 3 years ago, I didn't really finish what I had started. So I decided to come back and just finish what I'd started this side.
That is so great to hear, because what I like is you've been exposed to different education systems, to different people. And I think that's very beneficial with whatever you will have to share with us today. But where I would like to kick it off, you are young and fresh and beautiful, as we had just said. And that is just one of the things also sometimes that concerns parents when they want someone to educate their child. I know sometimes we feel like we want older teachers because they've been doing it for years. They know how to do it. They've got all the wisdom. So I guess my first question to you is, what is the benefit of having young teachers in the education space? What do they bring to the table?
I think I'll start with the obvious one, okay? I feel like young people are physically energized. They bring the energy, especially if you're teaching the young ones. I'm all about early learning, which is your kindergarten, your year 1 to year 4, that at home we'd say grade 1 to grade 4. You bring energy. If you need to roll on the floor, you can do that. If you need to jump, you can do that. But I feel like if you're taking an old lady who will be like 60 or 50, it won't be as comfortable for them, And the young ones, I'm gonna focus more on the young ones. They learn better with physical touch. They want to touch things. They learn through play. And if you're not physically energized, I don't think you'll cut it. That's the first one. And I also think young people are very flexible. In which way? When they come to the school environment, they don't say, I'm going to teach from 8 to 2, then I go home. They're young. They can stay later. They can be involved in sport, because most of the time we think learning happens in the classroom. I can bet you now, 60% of learning happens outside the classroom. Prior learning happens in the classroom, but then to see that students actually understood, you see it when they apply it in their own life, and they apply it with everything that they come across, if it becomes relevant there. And I also think young people are innovative.
Yeah.
The world has changed a lot.
Yeah.
We as people are evolving. Education system has changed and evolved. Um, we can take a look at how many curriculums have been used in South Africa during my time. Oh my God, I'm exposing my age. During my time, during my time, it was Bantu education. Okay, that was traditional learning.
Yeah.
And then there was OBE, which didn't last for long.
Yeah.
Soon after that, it was changed, and then it's now CAPS, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now we're using CAPS. And I feel like if the education system can change that much, why can't people also evolve and change and adapt with what the rest of the world is doing? And lastly, young people bring fresh ideas. They are in touch with the current world. They can equip young learners with both good or bad things. When I say equip, they can actually help them to be able to identify good and bad things because they can also relate because they're young as well. Yeah, I think I'll just end there.
Those are actually very valid points, and they make sense because for information to get through to me, it helps when it is being given to me by somebody that understands the times of when all of this is happening, and they are able to give it in a relatable manner to me because sometimes our elderly teachers or whatever, they lived at a different time and they don't necessarily relate to how we are taking in information these days. So I think those are actually really, really valid points. And if you could just advise us, just in general, because these days you mentioned that education doesn't end in the classrooms. What is the importance of extra lessons or other alternative ways, of helping the student academically? What is the importance of that?
That is a very good question. Because most of the time, listen to this, a lot of parents think it's only low achievers that need support.
Okay.
And that 99% of parents think it's the low achievers, but it's not. It's both low achievers and high achievers. Let me start with unexpected. High achievers. If you have a student that you think, listen to what I'm saying, that you think is a high achiever, they will not know or recognize their ability or their level of learning or the level of understanding until they match their level.
Okay.
So as much as you consider yourself to be smart, if you can be put in a room with other smart people, you would actually think, oh my God, I'm so dumb. The entire time I thought I was smart. Yeah. So their brains also need to be challenged because they become so comfortable, so overconfident, maybe too much arrogant, and then they tend to not to challenge themselves. They get too comfortable. So they need to challenge their brain as well to the maximum. Then let me move on to the low achievers. These are the people that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about low achievers because most of them, when they get the concept, that's it, they will die with it. Okay? Low achievers are people that learn to understand.
Okay.
They're always people that are thriving. They thrive. And when they give themselves, when they give it a shot, they give their all because they want to prove a point.
Yes.
Okay? So it is very much important for parents to actually get a tutor, get someone who's going to challenge your child. A lot of parents say, I'm going to help your child at home. Don't get me wrong. But how are you going? You can help your child, but are you going to challenge your child enough? At first, you are a parent. When a child see you, they see a mom.
Yes.
And some of them, it ends there. You can't be a mom and a teacher. I'm
Okay.
saying this because I'm a teacher. I also have a child of my own, and
Yeah.
I'll definitely, without a doubt, get someone else to help my
Okay.
child, not me.
All right.
Because with me, there are boundaries that they can be pushed
Yes.
and crossed,
Yes.
but with someone else, those boundaries, the same boundaries that might be crossed from my side, may not be crossed on
Okay.
someone else's side.
Ooh.
And not to advertise myself, but I'm also giving extra lessons
Beautiful.
online,
Okay.
not
Where do we
online.
find you? Where do we find you online?
You can find me on Sandy Z Giving Back. That's my YouTube channel.
Okay.
I haven't recorded in quite some time, but I've started again now. I'm going back.
All
I've
right.
started the channel when during COVID-19, when I was back at home, and I felt like it could be a good platform to help young learners who missed school because of COVID
Yeah.
to actually fill in the gap. So they can find me on Sandy Z Giving
Okay.
Back, or they can send me an email, which is Sandy, Sandy, Zigana, my surname, at iCloud.com.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. I'm actually learning so much as well as a mom for my own kids. I'm really learning so much. And as we are speaking about being a parent as well and looking at other alternative ways of academic support, as parents
Yeah.
as well, what resources can we use to support our kids? So I guess one of them would be acquiring, as you say, a tutor, pardon me. What else would you suggest as parents we can do, or like maybe try at home?
I think sometimes, or rather most of the time, we're looking for someone that can help,
Yeah.
whereas there are a lot of online
Yeah.
resources that one can use.
Okay.
There's also after school clubs. Guys, parents, when there is an after school club, it's useful. Take your child is already in that school. And I think parents fail to realize that for me to get through teaching your child, I need to have built a good relationship, a good rapport.
Okay.
But then a teacher who's already in their school might do a great job than me because they already know this child better. In which way? They probably know their learning style. They probably have built that relationship already, which makes it easy. A lot of time, we spend a lot of time trying to build a relationship because I always say, happy child, easy learning.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you take a child to school and every day when they wake up, they're like, I'm so excited to go to school.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to learn. But when you wake your child up, they're like, I don't want to go to school. You might not know the reasons, but the first thing should be happiness.
Yeah.
So with that being said, school club, group studies, libraries, Kindles, online. There's a lot online, but again, there's good and bad. So it needs to be monitored.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
That is very, very, very helpful. And lastly, I mean, right now we are in worlds apart. We're using technology to connect, for you to impart knowledge to me and whoever else watches this video. So just lastly, how can we use technology to our benefit, to support our kids, or for us as learners ourselves, not necessarily for our kids and social media and all of that? How can we use technology to develop ourselves academically, to learn, basically?
First and foremost, technology is bad and good.
Okay.
I'm starting with bad because a lot of us see the good in it. They always say the last thing you say is the last thing that people remember.
Yeah.
It is bad and good.
Okay.
If you listen to the previous question you've asked, I said, if using an internet is not monitored, then it could be a problem.
100%.
So I don't know if you know, there's a lot of digital literacy going on online, people talking about it, which is great. Now, online safety with monitored learning is very important. I'm going to give you a very simple example of how I help my young learners
Okay.
The internet platform as a way to learn. Currently, I'm teaching grade 2s.
Okay.
So my learning objectives, not my daily objective, okay, to all the kids and the parents. When you leave school and you go back home and you are asked, what did you learn at school today? And you cannot respond. I, as a parent, take it as if you didn't do anything. Okay. And that is very painful. Or my heart would be very sore if I'm a parent and you coming back from school and I'm asking, let's see, what did you learn today? And your response is, we learned maths, science, English, geography. You didn't learn.
Yeah.
For each subject, I would say, when you get home, Lepsy, grab your mom's phone. Get her attention. Most parents are so busy on social media, they tend to even miss a moment with their child. When children come home, they need to fight for their parents' attention because the parents are always on their phones. And I said, now take that phone and put it into good use. Say, Mom, I need you to take a video of me because Miss Sandy has a homework.
Okay.
My homework is, I'm going to tell you for each subject what I've learned.
Oh, beautiful.
Please record me. Now, Lepsy is going to stand there and say, hi, Mom. It's good to see you. It was so nice at school today. In math, we learned addition. Do you want to know in details what addition is? And then the child will say, 1 + 1 is 2. And then Miss Sandy always says, why is 1 + 1 2? Well, it's simple, Mom. You take one pen with another pen, it becomes 2. And already 2 minutes is gone. And the parent and the child, they both spend time talking about something beneficial and educational. And then you move on. And in English today, we learned about prepositions. And some parents are not even educated. They will ask, what is that? And the child would say, well, prepositions are words that tells us a location of a noun. For example, the phone is on the bed. Where is the phone? The phone is where? On. On, mommy, is a preposition. And so on and so on. And in that case, you as a parent already, you're like, okay, I know this week in English, they learned about prepositions. I know in math, they learned about addition. I know in science, they learned about maybe friction. I know in geography, they learned about 7 continents. And then for the rest of the week, your expectations should be high. What are those 7 continents? What have you learned about each continent? Well, personally, as a parent, I'll be like that. So it's one way of using technology to our advantage. And there's the obvious one where students can do the research depending on the age group that one is teaching. But there's also social media, which I think a lot of us are using it for the wrong reason. For example, nowadays, social media is great when it comes to advertising. And a lot of kids, let's assume you are in grade 12 and you're doing your matric back at home. And a lot of people are asking, which varsity are you going to? And one would say, I'm not going to varsity, but I'm going to be traveling the world while I'm teaching and making money. How can you do that? Social media is very important. You can use that to build your profile. You can use that to advertise yourself. You can use that. You can actually start a YouTube channel, build it up so that you are employed. Because the first thing that's going to be asked is, what experience do you have? So that alone already will become your experience.